dear sinners, it's Adam Nox, and welcome to another episode of the Call to View. Today we're trying something different. If you've been a long-time guest of the show, or if you've been a long-time subscriber to the show, then you would have known all the interesting different subjects that we participate in. You've probably seen little bits of ritual work from Goisha to the Shema Meferas that I've performed on the show, interesting interviews, and you know that I have my own personal work in the Call to View in my demontership training for those that are interested in working with me personally. Now, there's always these interesting things on the internet, right? These meditation, these guided experiences, and I wanted to bring one specifically to you and start exploring this segment. Guided meditation is a very important part of anybody's spiritual practice, or let's just say meditation is a very important part of spiritual practice. Now, we've spoken about a variety of subjects on the show, from the gods to active imagination to the brain and quantum mechanics, a whole plethora of different esoteric ideas. So today I'm just offering you a guided meditation, a little bit of a journey work. You can always look at the time chapters at the bottom of this video to forward to that specific segment in the future. So this is just a little bit of a rough introduction on the meditative journey that you're going to be able to go through in this participation. Feel free to watch this now and get a sense of it, and then later when you're ready, roll up the meditation so you can just work through it yourself. This guided meditation takes us through a couple of stages. The first is a bit of a somatic descent. In it, that's the first phase, we go into a bit of a guided body relaxation. Now, during that guided meditation, I will use conversational hypnosis techniques, and that is to help induce the body into a deeper state. So please don't listen to this while you're driving. Make sure you're listening to it while you're in a space where you can enter meditation. There's nothing strange about these techniques or these words. There's nothing weird. It's just instructions or commands to the unconscious minds, like allow yourself to relax, feel the pressure disappearing, go deeper into your being or into your unconscious mind. They're basically in suggestions to allow you to relax a little bit more and get your critical factor suspended. Once we've gone through that, then we're going to be guided into an active imagination space, and there's going to be a lot of guidance from me in that sense, but the big thing, it'll be suggestive, and the reason for that is for your own imagination to take shape. Now, it's a very important thing when you're looking at your magical and your spiritual practices that you have an inner world and you have a specific inner meeting space where you can work with your inner intelligences, the archetypes, the gods, the spirits, however you want to look at these portions beyond the ego. So think of this as a tool set with a little bit of a guided structure that you can emulate on a daily practice to build relationships with these various components of yourself. Once that's done, I will guide you through a very tiny bit of attunement, if you will, and after that I'll bring us back out of it just to help us re-assimilate back into a regular state of consciousness. So the meditation will be at about a lengthy one. It won't be a 5-minute meditation. It will be a relatively okay size in terms of time. So do make sure you have the time for that. Have a look at the timestamp from here on in so that you've got an idea of how much time you want to allocate to it. When you do take on the meditation, make sure you follow all the basic rules, right? Put the phone on hold, make sure no one disturbs you, and really go into it. And there's one thing that I do want to stress about the practice of this specific type of meditation. Don't just foolishly go into the visualizations without considering them as seriously. I always hear this funny thing in the esoteric and occult movements where people imagine that they have to ground themselves after ritual by imagining themselves connecting to the earth. This is a very beautiful idea, but it's slightly ridiculous. And the reason I say that, and I mean no offense to all those that do preach that out of memory or it's because of what they've learned or whatever, but here's the simple fact. You are using active imagination as a way to disassociate from people, places, time, things, and events and move into these inner aspects of yourself. After all, even Kabbalah associates imagination to Tiferet as the gate between the conscious and the unconscious realm. So if that's the tool you're using to access this portion of the conscious, how does using more of it help you get out of it? You know what I'm saying? It's reassociating to the world. It's actually re-engaging your logical and your rational faculty, the one that sometimes competes with your imagination, that disengages that portion of the imagination. So my advice is that when you're done with this, stop the imagination, but really restep the stages that you went in. So if you do have something that interrupts you, mentally go back into that journey and visualize yourself coming out the same way you went in. Allow yourself to repack up that inner experience and not just step out of it. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people do this, and then during the day they feel themselves losing track of time and track of space. And this is a common thing for people that practice this art. The catch is, it's not that you're very spiritual at that moment, it's just that you've not shifted brain states. So you're fundamentally still in a form of trance, and you're out in the world being exposed to who knows what. And unless you've actually developed the psychic protections and belief systems and inner practices that do shield you in those things, it's really not a healthy idea, especially when you are beginning. So please do heed my warning here that once you've gone through this journey, really disconnect or disassociate from the imagination and reassociate time and place. Go have a sandwich, go make a cup of coffee, drink some tea, drink some water, go socialize your friends, put the magic out of your mind and just engage the work. Like Deepak Chopra said, insight's gained inside of meditation, but the decisions have to be made outside. Anyway, sit back and let's attune ourselves to the delicious. So as we're going into this meditation, I just want to point out that this is by no means a definitive meditation. There is a plethora of different types of meditation practices, from breathing based to posture based to active to passive to the utilization of a single mantra or a single sigil. The list goes on and on and on. The type of meditation that I'm sharing with you today is a very fundamental one in practices like spiritualism, as it combines active imagination with a little bit of a framework that allows us to disassociate from the body and associate to the imagination, and then almost symbolically create a sacred space. And what is important, though, when you're utilizing this type of meditation is that you are actively building up that inner space within active imagination so that you can go there over time and you can start introducing little elements there that your own unconscious can use as building blocks to facilitate the communication between the two of you. Now, sometimes the inner child, if you will, is a little bit hesitant to just speak. So don't be discouraged if you don't get rich, detailed experiences. But you'll find that throughout this journey, I'm going to give you some suggestions, and I'm going to give you frameworks and outlines and ideas after we've gone through the stages of trance and stimulating the imaginative faculty to facilitate that. And there'll be strong spaces where you can kind of go in. So the idea and the reason I'm sharing this is just so it's something that you can reference back to. Every now and again when you just need to start your meditation, there will be a timestamp in the bottom for the moment the meditation starts. So at any point, just click that and you can begin your meditation if you're practicing this regularly. I recommend starting your days off like this, or just anytime you need to go within and you need to find insight to a certain aspect of yourself. And in that, I would like to invite you that before you even begin this meditation to almost invite those portions of yourself or those portions of the spirit that would like to communicate within you to come through in the meditation, but also not to sit there blindly like a fool and just close your eyes and pretend the thing's just going to show up. you need imagination. Remember, imagination is Tiferet. It's the door between the upper and the lower, the inner and the outer. As such, we need to facilitate the building blocks of the archetype. This is oftentimes why it's a lot more easier to make contact with the spirit once we've built it up in our psychology. We've immersed ourselves a bit inside of the work or the history of the spirit or possible ways it can appear. This kind of helps build the initial building blocks, and then the unconscious mind goes and fills in the rest, or the forces behind that can then utilize our framework in order to do so. So without further ado, let's begin our process. As we begin, I want you to close your eyes if they haven't found them closed already. And as you sit there behind your closed eyelids, just observe your breathing. Without trying to change or alter it, simply become aware of the portion of your being that has been breathing since the moment of your birth. That since the moment you enter this world, something more ancient has been breathing through you, as if the breath itself connects you to something deeper and more ancient. Now, it's okay if you're laying down or if you're sitting up straight during this journey. What is most important is that the spine is erect, and that your breathing is unrestricted. The phone's been turned off. The distractions have been rerouted. Then you are able to let go of yesterday. You're able to allow tomorrow to melt away into your unconscious, where all the right solutions and answers will automatically be assigned to it. As you continue to follow the breath in and out of your body, I want to invite you to pretend as if all the pores throughout your skin are also breathing. Feel as if your whole being is breathing in and out. Observing, moving your attention inwards. Again, allow the body to breathe. Every sound, every sensation only serving to bring you deeper and deeper into this trance, forming meditation. As you find yourself letting go of any stress and tension in your body, as any stress and tension dissolve from your mind and from your soul and from any of your subtler bodies. If you notice any tension in your body, I want you to take a deep breath into that part, almost tightening it a little bit more, and then exhale as you release it. We're going to enter into a rhythmic breath for a few seconds as we continue to allow the body to become warm, heavy, and completely relaxed. As I continue to guide us through this meditation, you're simply going to allow your breathing to go in at the count of 4. Hold it for the count of 4. Exhale for the count of 4. Hold it again. Inhale. And simply repeat this rhythmic 4-fold breath. Knowing that every sound you hear and every sensation will only take you deeper and deeper into trance, deeper and deeper into meditation, deeper and deeper into relaxation, as your unconscious now takes over and begins to resolve any tension or any problems within your being or in your life. Knowing that you are safe, guided, and protected. And if anything in the world does require real attention, your unconscious will automatically bring you to surface in time and capable of resolving it quickly. But as you now go in deeper, recognizing your safety and guidance, begin to breathe now in the same rhythm but through your heart. And every time you exhale, I want you to imagine as if there is a ball of light beginning to radiate out through your heart. Now, it doesn't matter what color this light is, but I want you to pay attention to what color shows up as you do this. You may even deepen your breath as you begin to perform this now. As that bubble begins to expand as an aura that begins to surround you and fill you, encasing you in a sense of protection, security, and nurturing, allowing you to feel safe, supported, and taken care of by this higher, more ancient portion of yourself. This god or goddess within. As this energetic ball continues to expand, allow it to almost push through the space that you are in. As if it's cracking open the physical world and replacing it with a more peaceful and beautiful garden. You watch as nature seems to flood out from this imagination. As if tree roots are sprouting, taking away from it the concrete and the walls, cracking open into a more beautiful and enticing dimension. What does the garden look like as you find yourself going in there now? Is it day? Is it night? Is it moist? Is it dry? What kind of trees are there? Is the place fenced off, or is it open and free? Are there any creatures in there with you? If so, what are they? Who are they? Remembering always this is your garden. I want you to begin building it up with even more detail. Think of this as your canvas. And I want you to fill in the blanks with all the things you feel you need in your life, or just the things you need to make this place truly sacred and your own. What if the trees here contained fruit that contained the energy of the very things you desired the most? What would that tree look like, and what would its fruits look like? Your breathing can follow whatever routine feels natural now. As you engage your imagination, you've established sight. I want to invite you now to introduce sound. Besides the music from the meditation, what other sounds can you hear within your garden? Is there water? Is there wind? Are there any familiar guides or creatures? think about the fruits of infinite potential in the tree, in the garden, or the plant, or whatever else your imagination comes up with. It contains all the energies of all the things you desire to bring into your life. You notice one of the fruits in particularly, the most radiant to you. You observe it with detail. As if you can almost see within it the memories and the experiences that it will create. You reach out to touch it and feel it radiant with the potency of the very thing you desire. What do you see next? Pluck the fruit. Bring it closer to your mouth. As it begins to radiate stronger, you feel a growing light of the same kind in your own heart. In a moment, you will bite into the fruit. And when you do, the energy of the experience will spread through your body like wildfire, putting you inside of one of those memories that will be created for you. You feel the anticipation building up in your body, the excitement and curiosity, the abandonment of your own limitations. As you bite into the fruit now, its rich energy exploding in your mouth, rippling through the very cells and fiber of your being, dissolving any resistance to its essence. As you bring the energy into your body, what thoughts come to mind? What visions do you experience? What images or sensations show up? From the energy that radiates through your body, you feel as its energy moves and courses through you. It pours out through your belly and formulates a spirit in front of you. Allow the being to manifest. It holds the information. It is the elemental, if you will, of that energy. Welcome it. Allow it to rise and to teach you its mysteries. Be open, be curious, and learn. Ask it any questions you need. Now that you have the steps, you can return to this place and this tree of life, this garden of pomegranates, if you will. Then you can slowly start expanding it more and more with every visit, building on top of the forms you have now here established. During the experience, the other sacred part of you, the God within, has spoken with you in subtle images, sensations, flashes of imagination. Thank this part of you for its sacred guidance. And slowly allow the images to dissipate from your mind. See the tree dissolving. See the garden dissolving. And see the giant ball of energy slowly coming back in and restoring the structure of your meditation space as it re-enters back into your heart. Thanking again internally the power within you that guided you and for opening up to you and showing you the way. With the base of the meditation concluded, begin to, with your eyes still closed, stretch your body. Slowly become aware of your environment around you, allowing your mind to let go of any imagery, any imagination. And then look kind of downwards. Put your awareness on your hands, feel your hands. Breathe into them. Move your shoulders. Stretch your back. Really reconnect with the environment before you slowly and gently begin to open your eyes. Not all in one go. Just slowly, quietly, depending how deeply you went. Slowly coming back with no ill effects in your mind, no ill effects in your body, only feeling good and empowered, knowing that you are now empowered to go about your day in more successful and attuned ways. Welcome back, practitioner. What's important to do now is to have a notepad with you, or even use your phone, and try and interpretate some of those images and ideas that came up. In the beginning, you may think they're not important, but they are. They're a communication that happens. There's a big difference between the rush of imaginative journeys that we can put ourselves versus when we're doing this as an active engagement. When you turn to God, God turns to you, so the saying goes. When you turn to your imagination and you begin to take it seriously and you begin this two-way communication, there's going to be a dialogue that's going to formulate, and some of it will continue in your dreams, and some of it will reveal itself more in your meditation. In fact, the more you do this, your dreams will also begin to shift, some not being as consistent, but opening to other experiences like lucid dreaming and so on and that forth. What is important, though, is that you take on the interpretation that the messages coming through is symbolic. Your unconscious, this deeper portion of yourself, is starting to utilize the vocabulary that we're starting to build up for it. The leaves, the trees, the colors, the sound, the set and setting. And it will interpretate and tell you things in unique ways depending on what the message or the question is you've got in your heart at that time. For example, when you went in, was it night or was it day? This could very much indicate a lot of where you are in your life, but it could also be symbolic of, just what you need in order to feel more intimate or feel more open and connected. The types of plants that you see in the space, the kind of textures, the creatures that were there will all be symbolic. Even when I said the light, I didn't specify what color the light is. It could have been a dark light, it could have been a divine light, it could have been purple, black, white. None of these things were defined for you. What you chose to interpretate is how your unconscious framework is setting up, or what it's trying to sub-communicate to you in this way. The more you understand that internal dialogue, the more effective the two-way communication starts building up. And before you can even consider really effective communication with the spiritual worlds or the deeper worlds, you must first establish a good, clear communication with yourself, and through that, the various portions of yourself. Now, you're welcome to look into things like archetypal work, you're welcome to look into things like active imagination, and however you explore this, I'm simply going to leave you with one singular thought. Don't jump too much in the beginning. So same as when people practice too much, they jump between one pantheon of spirits to the next, and eventually they get results and they don't even know who to thank for it, right? Because they've done so many things, you don't know what is the one that worked. And that's quite problematic. It's the same thing as food. You may have a food allergy to a certain, maybe to gluten as an example, but you only get a headache or discomfort 3 days after you've eaten, which was the day you ate the chocolate, and you think chocolate's the problem. Not necessarily. It could just take longer to affect your system than it does others. So try and simplify your practice. Try to focus on these deeper levels within yourself. And as you go down into your body and you open up more with your imagination and you feel things in your body, maybe there's resistance there, maybe there's a warmth, maybe there is a opening, allow yourself to hallucinate that into this garden that you're starting to build up, maybe as a being, maybe as a form, maybe as an entity, maybe as a tree or a plant, and then relate to it, communicate with it, and allow it to evolve and shapeshift as it does. What you're doing is you're adding vocabulary to your imagination, and slowly but certainly it's going to give you the symbolic language, or it's going to help you formulate a symbolic language that you can use to better understand the other within, the higher self, the sacred daemon, whatever interpretation of that you'd like to utilize. It is a gradual journey, but listen more attentively as you begin this process to your own body through the day. Where is your body not in harmony with you? And then instead of trying to force yourself into those things, I'm not saying don't get the job done, sometimes you just have to do that, but don't just repress these portions of yourself. Go into the garden. This active imagination journey that I've shared with you today, even at this base level, is enough for you to start building a communication with these portions, or to start bringing in the energies that you want to invite into your life that may be missing there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short little journey with me. And if you like content like this, if you like meditations and journeys like this, please do give me your feedback and your thoughts, and we'll see if we can increase some of it in this area. Otherwise, remember to live absolutely deliciously.